So, beloved Midshift Maker, this is Han. Welcome to the field of remembrance. And I just had to overcome some really annoying belief right now before I start this video, because I took some notes here in my book, and somehow this voice told me that I'm not good enough to make this video because I'm looking on my notes. And then I'm not speaking freely enough, and I have to look on a piece of paper, therefore my information is worthless. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness, beliefs are so funny. Laughter loosens them up. So anyway, you know what I told you that I really never know what I will talk about in those transmissions, and really never know what the topic will be for this video, but I get senses for it, and this time, half an hour before this video, I sensed something like, what could be a main reason, a main belief, a main energy, the main thing that is holding us back to start acting on our joy right now, to really make right now the first step, because there is only right now. So what is it? And I came to the conclusion for myself that we have to understand first of all, that this moment is all that there is. And the core illusion is I must improve my circumstances before I am allowed to act on my joy freely. I must improve my circumstances before I am allowed to act on my joy freely. Listen to this. Feel into this. This is a belief, the core illusion belief. It might sound different from person to person, from being to being, but the energy is waiting energy. That's what it is. I must improve my circumstances before I am allowed to act on my joy right now. It's a little bit like with my notes. These are not the right circumstances, so I am not allowed to act on my joy. My joy is simply making those videos, sharing what I know, sharing my perspective, sharing my understandings of reality, transformation and awareness and change and all of that stuff. And I'm not allowed to share this because I take notes? You gotta be kidding me. Really. And I think this is one of the core illusions that holds people and beings in the waiting room of their life, that they must have improved their circumstances because before they can finally act on their joy freely. And it's like, you see, then beings act like if circumstances determine your state of being, but the right way is that your state of being determines your circumstances. And I think we became really worthy. We became worthy to really acknowledge our own heart and joy if we truly understand quantum physics good enough to understand that every possibility and everything exists right here and right now, and that there is no future, and that joy is the starting fuel, the starting engine from this moment now on, and not joy is the reward if we somehow arrive 20 years later or something like this. Joy is not the reward at the end of something, it's the starting engine. And so you never get there because you never leave here. You never get there because you never leave here. You never get there because you never leave here. Because you're always waiting. You're always waiting. And you know that it doesn't make sense to stay in the waiting room. And you know, what I observed in my own journey, and what I think is a belief that many people hold in their minds, in their energy field, is the beginning from now, so starting in this moment to act on your joy, the beginning from now is not settling for less. And somehow this is the voice that we hear, or the energy that we feel when we think about starting whatever it is, making videos, making art, dancing, music, whatever the creative expression looks like. We somehow think we settle for less because we always think our reality is not good enough. We always think our reality is not good enough. If our reality would look like this and that, and this is always a big question mark, what this and that is, then I feel finally allowed to act on my joy. But that's the wrong way. I tell you, that's the wrong way. Reality doesn't work in that way. Frequency comes first, then reality rearranges itself. And I tell you, since all the years of my own transformation and change, I always wanted to come to a point where I can say that if some realistic person comes to me and says that energy is nonsense and all of that stuff, and that you have to be realistic, and reality is hard work, and no, I have to see it to believe it, that's the old model of reality. I can now say this with so much confidence because I feel it. Because I recognize it as my truth, that frequency comes first. Because I see changes outside of me when I did them inside of me. I can correlate that. I do something within myself, I open my heart more for myself and for life, I feel more joyful, more happier, and I see more people smiling, and the other person sees only mad persons. And I'm so grateful that I can stand behind that truth now with every cell and fiber of my body, that energy comes first and frequency comes first, and that this determines our reality, and that we not should, but that we can, and because it's who we are, that we can start with joy from now, and that this doesn't mean that we settle for less. That's a belief of unworthiness. So I invite you to no longer stay in the waiting room of your life, because the fastest way to get where you want to be is to realize you're already there. And then you have the old paradigm and the new perception, and these two things you give to your mind to really reconcile this, and then you have two seemingly opposite truths. And this is something your mind can really grasp on. And this grasping happens vibrationally. And this grasping, this standing them, this holding them against to each other without judgment, just the way it is, this for a moment bypasses resistance. Quantum physics teaches us that everything exists right here, right now. And that we, for ourselves, to time travel, to jump timelines, to move into a different timeline. We jump billions of times per second anyway. But to do this, we have to change our frequency. We have to change our energy. That's how it works, my friend. That's how it works, mischievous friend. And we have to build this level of confidence. Because our brain, one of our brain's main jobs is to reflect what we know. And if every cell of your body knows this for the truth, then you have the master key. I swear to you, you have the master key. So, Joy is not the reward at the end, it's the engine at the start. And the beginning from now is not settling for less. And acting on our joy now allows reality to arrange it itself, to truly rearrange itself. And it's your job to not fall for the mirror, because if you start to and make a choice to act on your passion, yeah, maybe it will look like a while for nothing is happening, but you're looking through a glass wall. And it's like you testing yourself. Do you fall for it? Or do you stand in your knowingness? Can you stand in your knowingness? That frequency comes first. Can you trust your own knowingness strong enough and deep enough to stand in this truth? And can you finally leave the waiting room of your own life? Remember, starting from the beginning from now, this moment, that's, by the way, everything that is now, doesn't mean you settle for less. I acknowledge where I start from in every moment. You see, that's a different perspective right now. Yes, I started 22 days ago making a video every day. But I'm starting right here, right now, again and again and again and again. It's a choice in every moment. So what makes the first choice so hard and this one not so hard? Because I somehow became familiar and more used to it. And I let go of beliefs in the journey of it. And that's fine. If we start to act on our joy, we will face limiting beliefs. That's good. And by the way, I'm creating right now a belief pilot. It's a mischievous guide about beliefs. Right now it's about 14 pages. And I think I will finish it tomorrow, and I will link it below this video in the description box when it's ready. And it's free. It's free, you can download it. And this thing is so great. I'm looking forward for your feedback to it. Because you will learn everything about beliefs and how to bypass them and how to dissolve them and what they really are. And we will go on an interdimensional journey together, my friend. That's... That's beautiful. Let me see if I just forgot something from my notes. So my video is still good enough, even if I look into my book. No, everything's fine, so... If you feel the pull, my dear friend, if you feel the pull, then feel free to join the field of remembrance. I'll link you the field in the description below, and we'll meet each other there, so give this video a like and a subscription. I thank you so much for listening, and thank you for the opportunity, and thanks to myself for the opportunity to express myself and to have fun while doing this, because joy is the starting engine at the beginning, and we are not settling any longer in our waiting room. Until next time.